Alright, I'm starting. Hey everyone, welcome to a Pro Dota Commentary. You're watching the Premier League, which is sponsored by Twitch TV, hosted by Ange, and of course brought to you guys by DotaCommentary.com. Today you're watching CLG versus Fnatic, and I am Luminous. Alongside with me is Purge Gamers from Gosu Gamers. How are you doing today, Purge?
I am doing excellent, and I am super excited to watch this game. It's been a while since I casted the game, so pumped to be here with you. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. This is CLG's, or formerly known as XP's, first game after their real sponsor, or at least their first official game. And, well, if for those of you guys don't know, CLG is a big clan in League of Legends, I believe. Is that correct?
That's what I've heard. I actually don't know very much about it.
Okay. Yeah, I was doing my Dota Weekly show yesterday, and I was really happy that it seems like LOL organizations are stepping into the Dota realm. Even though LOL is a very, I guess, successful game in its own right. Seems like organizations are stepping into Dota, which is more power to us, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not unrealistic that they can't coexist together, so I think that's pretty sweet to see.
Yep.
So.
Which I think a lot of people in the Dota community is like, oh my god, LOL. And I heard Loda's team has lost a lot of fans because of that, but I don't even know why.
It's still the League of Legends hate, and I mean the games are different enough. People are gonna have their preferences, but if they want to sponsor our tournaments and sponsor our teams, I don't even care, man.
Right, man. Money talks. That's kind of it. And CLG Counter Logic Gaming will be playing on the Radiant today. They are picking and banning second. Fnatic playing on the Dire today. For those of you guys who don't know, the Premier League is a point-based system, and currently CLG is leading on top of everyone. They and Navi are tied at the highest point at the moment at 10 points each, and the Fnatic is somewhere down in the middle. So in terms of speaking of points, Counter Logic Gaming should have the quote-unquote advantage or have the upper hand, but you know, Dota is a game where everything goes and anything goes, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And there's a couple questions in the chat. People are saying, are the CLG team League of Legends players? The answer is no. The players are Dota players. They just have a League of Legends sponsor.
Yes.
That's all. Or a previously League of Legends sponsor, which is a very important distinction.
Is it fair to say that they're a League of Legends sponsor, or they're just a clan that has a League of Legends team and now has a Dota 2 team as well?
I'm assuming it's just a team who also sponsors the League of Legends players. That's I'll leave it at that because I don't know enough information. So.
Okay. Alright, let's go into the picks and bans a little bit here. We do see Invoker and Venomancer being banned up by the Fnatic as a profit first pick. And this Venomancer ban might look like a little bit odd for a couple of you guys, but against a CLG or XP team, you always ban that Venomancer. Loda's been known to second pick the Venomancer, always status quo. He just always pick it up. And they are so good with defending. I mean, Venomancer is just a great hero overall. And it seems like Loda values it, so why don't we just get rid of it?
Yeah, it's very popular with a lot of teams right now just because you can see those pushes coming, or if you do see them coming, you can send the Venomancer to lane. He can spam like 5 to 6 wards, something like that, and just when the creep wave comes, they get cleared so fast because the wards at high levels do clear creep waves. But they're going to pick up a Chen and a Windrunner, which is the nastiest pushing here in my opinion. Chen a little bit better than Venomancer because those creeps can't just die to 2 AoE nukes, so I think that's going to be very powerful.
Yep, they also act as a great tanky force, so you can scout with them. They make Roshan engagements a lot easier, and of course the early game jungling, the ability to jungle frees up one of your lane as well. Gives you great gank out of jungle, so we see this hero a lot of time. And when you pick up a Chen, suddenly a lot of strategy become available. And we see Fnatic answer right back with the Enchantress. I like this. It's been a long time since we see kind of an enchant Holy Persuade war going on, and when you see something like this, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Gonna be tough for the Chen. If you guys are confused how those heroes work, they both steal neutral creeps using their abilities. So what'll end up happening in a team fight is Chen's going to show up with all of his creeps, and Chen's going to be ready to try to steal those. The best thing you can do, actually, is let's say Chen has a centaur. You can steal the centaur and immediately stun them all because he's been in position the whole time.
Right.
Stuff like that gets really crazy. But they're going to end up stealing their creeps back and forth from one each other a couple times, and we'll see how it ends up working out. It's kind of like an interesting micro war. And either way, Enchant is still very good at pushing herself, so Fnatic is sitting on 3 strong pushing heroes.
Right. The Bermuda is a great pusher, and of course the Prophet with this Wrath of Nature and the ability to summon creeps gives you great pushing anywhere you want instantly, so that's great as well. Now, in terms of the Enchant Holy Persuade war going on, there's some interesting mechanics behind it. For example, Enchant has a lower cooldown than Holy Persuade, so she quote-unquote has the upper hand in that regard, but Chen generally shows up with more creep in the start. In Dota 1, I know when you Enchant and Holy Persuade, the cooldowns and mana of the creeps reset. I'm not too sure how that is the case in Dota 2, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's also important to point out that Enchant in a normal 5v5 situation is going to be wanting to use her enchant ability on enemy heroes because it provides a really powerful slow.
Right.
And Chen can still contribute to a team fight. Holy Persuasion is an ability that is usually sitting there in most cases in a team fight unless he wants to send somebody back. But
which is pretty key, I think.
Yeah, that is true, but depending on the situation, if it's more of like an offensive situation and they don't need to send somebody back, it's more of a detriment for Enchantress to have to steal creeps there.
Right. Now, of course, both heroes does very different things apart from that. One heals the team, one does pretty good DPS from pure damage. So it's really not sensible to keep comparing the two. And we see the Ancient Aberration ban in conjunction with the Omni Knight ban. The Omni Knight is a very, very good targeted ban because we've definitely seen an XP in the past run a Chen Omni Knight and Dragon Knight combo where the guys just don't die. So that is a pretty sensible ban, which Ancient Aberration ban is mostly to protect a Chen because once the A blast hits, you have 12 seconds or unable to use your Hand of God, or if you use it, it does nothing. So that's a very, very good ban to protect your hero. It looks like Crystal Maiden is the last ban here coming from Fnatic.
Yeah, I think the Ancient Apparition ban is very smart. It sucks to fight against that if you are the Chen. And Omni Knight would also have been very dangerous to have on CLG's team because just having a level 1 repel on Sand King gets you a guaranteed ulti, assuming they don't have like a Beastmaster Roar or something that goes through Magic Community. So I think that target ban is very cool. Omni Knight is a hero that does occasionally see bans and plays, but it's kind of rare. But when he does get played, it's usually pretty powerful. It's just kind of interesting how he weaves in and out of bans and picks randomly.
Right. I'm looking at the Fnatic lineup so far as we see a Shaker ban here. I'm really worried about their lineup. So far they have a couple of slows, they don't have any legit stuns, and against heroes such as Windrunner, Sand King, and of course Chen with his Holy Persuasion, how are you going to kill and burst down people? They are going to pick up a very reliable stunner that is going to be a Vengeful Spirit. So in terms of the lineup we have here, as we see Storm being picked up, Storm is CLG's go-to counter against Prophet, zips right in to really limit what the Prophet can do. Before he picks up either a Shadow Blade or Hex, that Prophet is absolutely food for Pycat's Storm, which is what we're going to see today. But yeah, going back to the lack of stuns, Vengeful Spirit will help, but I think they need a little bit more, as these guys are very mobile, as you see.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And yeah, I think Vengeful Spirit's a good start for that. Maybe something like a Tide Hunter and then try to hard carry with your Broodmother might be a possibility. But if they do pick up that Tide, then you're looking at obviously not too much for carry potential, just really the Broodmother. So Radiant team doesn't really have a whole bunch themselves, just a semi-carry out of Windrunner and a semi-ish possible hard carry out of Storm. Depending on what his items are, he can really become an extremely powerful team fight hero. But I don't know if they're gonna have to pick their last hero here. They have 37 seconds left, and they are gonna have to commit. I would guess another support. No, it's probably not. I'm not really sure. They need a laner for top lane, maybe like a Slardar or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Fnatic always known to go for those late game carry, and so far we don't see it. Prophet and the Broodmother can kind of stock themselves up by getting a lot of gold. But it's not a late game carry, neither is Mirana. Seems like they just want a very mobile lineup. And we now have to lead. We have the Broodmother Web. Of course, the Prophet is a very mobile global hero. So I think they want to just pressure and gank because that's kind of their entire lineup is geared to. Broodmother will give you about 40 minutes of late game play, but aside from that, you're pretty much done. If you don't win early, I don't see the Fnatic winning this game in the very, very out late. But then CLG doesn't really have late gamers themselves, so it's really hard to say. In fact, I think Mirana is probably the latest hero on the map, maybe with Brood as well.
That's definitely true, and a hero that hasn't even been picked or banned yet is Night Stalker. I was about to say that before the Mirana got picked up, but Night Stalker is still a possibility. I would be surprised because They have a couple more solo laners than they would necessarily need, mainly on the Storm Spirit and the Windrunner.
Right.
But I don't know, I'd be surprised if we saw something like that. Maybe a dedicated support hero like a Tidehunter, but it's gonna be a Witch Doctor instead.
Yep, that is a dedicated support like you talk about. We do not underestimate the Witch Doctor's ability to dish out damage with his wards, and of course with his Maldeck as well. Now we have a very reliable second heal, Voodoo Restoration, and again, considering that we don't have too much burst damage coming in from Fnatic, that Voodoo Restoration will be extremely helpful in conjunction with the Hand of God. So in terms of laning, we're gonna have Chen in the jungle, and what do you see here? A Witch Doctor Sand King lane? Dr. Windrunner in the top, Sanking Basalo.
He could just do something like roaming. It's definitely a possibility. But they're probably going to want to lane the Sand King against a Broodmother. I think if Witch Doctor grabs a fast sentry, he's actually going to grab Observers. I was thinking maybe like a Sand King Witch Doctor could really shut down a Broodmother. Something like that would be kind of cool to see. But it looks like the entire Radiant team's going to go to the bottom.
Yep. Just dropping a couple of wards and whatnot. We do see Stormstreet picking him a very interesting Ring of Protection. That makes me think he's not going to go solo mid. Because why else would you pick up a Ring of Protection? We'll see. Windrunner does have pretty good mid item as he has not spent any all 600, so might be saving for a quick bottle. But again, hard to tell. Loda is going to be playing the Storm here. We have Highcat on the Sand King. Pinoy playing the Windrunner. He usually plays a long lane, so we might see that from him. And we have Aki on that Chen, and now, of course, Miracle, the support player on that Witch Doctor.
And for the Dire Team Fnatic, we have Bucktop playing the Enchantress. Baha is on Vengeful Spirit. Gordon on the Priest of the Moon. I don't know if they spotted each other right yet. It's getting pretty tense here. Are they going to get a stun off? Enchantress they might be able to lead her off. Are they going to lead her off?
If they could tangle through the trees, which I think Pycat get a little bit of path block, path shoot by those tree shadow thingy, she's going to be fine.
Alright, in the last two heroes, we have Mitch on the Nature's Prophet. He looks like he's going to be soloing the mid lane. And finally, Grizzine playing the Broodmother on the top lane. Fast Poor Man's Shield with an Ironwood Branch.
Yep. No Soul Ring recipe, no any Ring of Regeneration early, just
who needs it?
Just good old web regen, which is completely fine by him. I'm not too sure who is gonna be up against. I think it's Windrunner. In terms of Windrunner versus Broodmother matchup, as oddly as it sounds, I'm gonna give it to the Brood.
I think that's pretty safe, especially if there's no sentry wards down. It can be tough to outlast hit him. But Windrunner's actually going to be mid, yeah, for sure, is going for that fast bottle. Picks up the 3 Ironwood Branch and even throws in the extra Mantle of Intelligence just to get that little extra last hitting power. And Mitch is going to get a couple free hits. I like his starting item builds as well. Very, very heavy stats. We're seeing a little bit of an engagement in the jungle. A stun on the Chen. No disable coming from the Storm Spirit. They're just dual laning a Storm Spirit Witch Doctor. Pretty cool stuff. And so a couple extra good hits. Nature's Prophet thinking about TPing in. Is he going to go in?
We'll
Diving
see.
on the Mirana now. And are we going to get another stun? 10 seconds on Witch Doctor stun. I think they're going to be absolutely fine.
And despite the fact that the Dire side had 3 heroes, they were really unmatched by that cast, was able to bounce on the heroes for a long time. Of course, Loda somehow got his nuke to hit on melee range as well. That definitely helped out. And of course, Gordon only had arrow, was not able to fire off, or at least, oh, maybe they're going to go on the Witch Doctor now? No, he's going to turn back. So, very tense moment right now, but they should know that the Dire side always have a Prophet TP in any moment's notice. And CLG should definitely keep that in mind, as this early game is very, very important. As we see a teleport coming in for Aki, do we have another slow from the cooldown? Enchant is up. He's not using it just right now. There's Enchant, and Magic Missile will be casted in just moments' notice. Will we have it? Will we have it? She's so slow, and she's getting blocked by Enchantress. There's a second Sprout, and there's a Magic Missile. I do believe Aki will go down to a couple of right hits. Yes, first blood being picked up by the Vengeful Spirit, and this Satyr is just doing mad amount of damage. He's out of mana at this point, so no more Shockwave, but he's just whacking on people.
Yeah, but he wishes it was the latest version. You have 600 mana. The Casca's going to bounce a couple times. Might maybe see Nature's Prophet take some damage. Is Purple going to come from the mid lane? No, he's not going to, actually. And that's going to be absolutely fine. The Satyr's going to actually get stolen by the Enchantress next.
No mana restored, so I guess that's not it.
That's good for the Radiant team.
Witch Doctor going to get his Clarity cancel. He's just not a happy guy right now. Of course, the Dire side getting that first blood. We'll have a Crow, as you can see, a Crow flying in with 6 sets of Tango. Mirana needs a little bit of healing. She is harassed on quite heavily on the bot lane.
Yeah, I kind of like how aggressive Loda is being on the Storm Spirit. He doesn't really have that much to worry about. It's pretty much just a Enchantress slow and a Vengeful stun. You know, if the arrow can come through after that, I would be really worried, but surprisingly, it's not as dangerous as a normal tri-lane setup against him, so kind of a good situation there. And Enchant and Venge are going to go back to jungling, and we'll see how well Chen can do. He's up to level 2 currently. He's going to do some scouting with his Ursa Warrior, because he knows it's dangerous in this jungle, man.
Yeah, it definitely is, but when you scout with them, you gotta be careful that you don't get picked up by it, because one of the things about Enchantress, different from Chen, is that he can have multiple creeps at early level, which is something Chen cannot do. So you could have 2 creeps and an Enchantress and 3 heroes barreling down a tower, and really that's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Chen's gonna go looking around for another creep, and Chen's gonna find somebody in the jungle. It's gonna be the Witch Doctor, but her mana is getting kind of slow, and she actually has a cooldown here. Tango gets popped, Storm Spirit dropping down the Remnant, and he does have his boots finished, so that's gonna be pretty good in these early skirmishes against all these support heroes without boots.
Right.
And he's gonna keep putting the Remnants down. Kind of interesting why he's doing that, just to have vision or possible defense if they come to gank him.
Maybe kind of deter the enemy from coming into them, but if they really want to get a kill, they'll run through that thing, no problem. And he's actually burning through his mana quite a bit, and actually make it go on Gordon. And because Gordon does not have a salve, because he's tangling up so slowly, he's going to be kept out lane for a bit. Meanwhile, we have Nature's Prophet setting up kill with a teleportation, and Chen got picked off once again. We don't expect Chen to be the one dying early on, and because he's dying, he's not going to hit level 6, more critically level 7 for his creeps. So that is a huge win here so far from Fnatic.
Yeah, he got a little caught out of position. The Enchantress and the Vengeful Spirit found him again. Enchant stole his Ursa, and then he was surrounded by 2 Ursas instead of 1. He had no creeps, and then all Nature's Prophet had to do is TP in, drop the Sprout, and that was a kill. So that was a nice play there by the Dire team. They're doing really well so far.
Meanwhile, on the top lane here, let's see how we're doing on top. And it was a they did switch off the Sanking, and as we saw him running on top, he does have a bottle now. Meanwhile, Broodmother is not going for that ever so common Soul Ring. Instead, it's going to be going for a Sage's Mass stack, so that is going to be an Orchid. In terms of CS, 17 on the Sanking and 12 and 10 on the Brood. 10 denies being very easily claimed, denying against Sandstorm. Most players have, they do that for breakfast. And here comes a gank on the bot lane here. No clap on the Ursa. Do we have support in for the Prophet? Yes, we do. Trees immediately destroy, and they're going to make a huge dive for Loda. And can they get the kill? I do believe right click is going to do it, but are they going to lose anyone? No, they are not. Tower now focusing Mitch. Mitch taking massive amount of damage. And now back on Venture. Gordon takes up a kill against Witch Doctor as well, and this tower is dead.
Yeah, their diving possibility is just so strong here. Even Chen can't come out and help out with this. I mean, he can wholly persuade a creep, but Enchantress can just steal it right back, assuming he does have the mana. He's a little low right now, but it doesn't take a whole lot to steal a creep away from Chen. So he did steal this Wildkin, I think, but there's no Tornado. It is on cooldown. There's the TP and the Glyph. He's going to be able to block the Nature's Prophet. Here comes the stun. Sanking going to land on the Priest of the Moon and the Vengeful Spirit, but the leap goes past. No follow-up disables quite yet. Loda's trying to catch up, but he's not level 6 yet, so he can't do a ball lightning quite yet, and he's not going to get close enough. He does get blocked a little bit by Pycat, and that is a little bit of a loss there for CLG. They definitely wanted to get some kills right there, and they just quite weren't able to get all the chain disables off.
They did defend the bot tower, but unfortunately that came at the expense of a TP from the Sanking. Now the Sanking is going to be kind of, where am I supposed to go here for the next couple of seconds? Because if he's going to walk top lane, it's going to take a while. And of course, Fnatic responding beautifully by saying, okay, Prophet's going to TP top. We're going to just push with Broodlings and Treants. And now the Dire side, the Radiant side is like, okay, well now we're going to lose top tower. What are we going to do about that? And here comes the entire global pressure that we were talking about during the pick phase. It is just so hard to deal with these 2 heroes, and you're seeing exactly that on your screen. 0-4 in favor of Fnatic, and they're winning this game so far.
Yeah, and they're going to pick their first tower here. I don't believe they're going to get there in time. Windrunner is shifting up, charging the power shot. It's going to do a little bit of damage, but there's too many spiders there, and Broodmother does get the last hit. And there's the stun from Sanking. He's going to ult a huge shackle shot. This is going to be a double kill, maybe. Who's he going to go on? He's going for the Nature's Prophet. Easy kill there, and Broodmother goes the opposite way. They had no dust or anything, but still get an easy kill and a nice shackle shot. Yeah,
it was very fortunate that he got himself a haste rune on the bot lane. He just ran all the way across the map, trucking it. And good thing they got the tower here, but Grzin says, okay, whatever. Sorry, Prophet, but I'm going to just keep on staying this lane and continue to do my thing, which is keep on pressuring.
Yep, Storm Spirit still level 5 on the bot lane. He does have his Basilius with the magic stick, but he needs to level up before he's going to have good contribution. Vengeful Spirit was looking for a stun there, but not going to get it. And with the Remnant down, they will have vision of that as well as the Wave of Terror. So he doesn't actually have very much regen. He's in a dangerous situation in terms of HP, and it looks like Chen also going to be looking for creep as well. Chen's really not going to be that useful against Enchantress until he gets multiple creeps, because Enchant can always steal all of his creep viability at that point. So she's just going to have a position in the jungle looking for Chen to come, and they're going to try for this tower once again.
Back on the top lane, we had a very long and non-elegant chase. Dust was pop on Pycat, But the Sandstorm cooldown just got in. We're waiting for another dust. It's going to be in 20 or so seconds. Not very sensible just to wait here, but it seems like Mitch is he's waiting. He's tanking some creep damage. Pycat does not have another mana for oh, here comes Loda to get a little bit of help. He is not level 6 just yet. But they are really determined to rescue Pycat. He will have another Sandstorm, so he can maybe try to walk it out. His Sandstorm is ending pretty soon. And he's just trolling these guys over here. He's going to pour out.
Oh, cool. Nice, he saved his mana until he had enough for a teleport scroll, and then immediately teleports out. That was a smart play there. Nature's Prophet ulti will do a little bit of damage, but not a big deal. Fnatic now pushing the bot lane. Vengeful Spirit in position, Enchant looking for a creep as well, and Windrunner's going to find a double damage rune. She actually goes for a bottle this game, and this is something we don't see very often on Windrunner, because we almost always see Windrunner soloing those hard lanes.
She's definitely not a bad bottle holder, considering that she does have Windrun to race off to the rune. But yeah, with Stormseer TPing to the top lane, they have momentarily gave up a bot tower, and now the second tower is completely undefended at this point here. Sand King comes in, he does not have Arcane Boots, does not have Blink Dagger of anything right now. He Burrow Strikes right in, and looks like they're going to make a go on Booktop, and will Booktop go down? He's going to pop out heal, not enough heal at the right moment, and now we have Vengeful Spirit gets net up as well. Double kill on the support, and now Potom is next. Witch Doctor comes in with the stun, Burrow Strike right in. CLG right back in this game as they kill the entire bot lane, defend their tower, and maybe even gonna get they could get a deny on this tower if they want to. Let's see if they're gonna keep their tower up just for a little bit longer.
Maybe they didn't notice, but man, did you see that Venge stun dodge by Pycat on the Sand King? That was ridiculously good. Stun comes out, he goes invisible, wastes one of their only disables there, and then they just cleaned up really hard with a couple chain disables. So yeah, making it even 4-4. They're probably still at a gold disadvantage. Yeah, 2k gold disadvantage here, but that makes a big difference. It stops that rolling ball. Now all they have to do is pick off a couple towers, and they're going to be equaled up.
Yep, that's going to give give Chen a little bit of time to grab a couple of creeps. Grab that critical level 6, which he's waiting for. He's 5.5 right now. Once he have level 6, he's gonna have a huge advantage in these team fights. Because what's that? 200 heal when we're 10 minutes in is absolutely insane. Especially when heroes only have like 800 HP, 1000 HP. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, it really is. Sand King now level 8, just a bottle and a wand. Picks up a stout shield as well to keep him safe against the spiders. And Windrunner's gonna find another rune, grabbing a haste this time. And she does have her headdress with her phase boost, so she's well on track to her mechanism. Gonna get there at least semi-soon, maybe the next couple of minutes here. And Chen back in the jungle using an Ursa Warrior with a Troll Warlord. I love picking up Troll Warlords on Chen. It is so good at shutting so many different heroes down. And Potom sitting on treads and grabbing some Sentry Wards, curiously.
Yeah, Potom, despite having being on the bot lane, actually was able to farm up pretty decently. The tower definitely helped out. The kill he got earlier on the Witch Doctor definitely helped out as well. So generally we see, a support Potom going into mid-game without farm, without levels. Gordon Kelly, not the case here, as he's going to be farming quite a bit. He does have a bottle as well, going to be doing a little bit of rune whoring, considering that the mid hero hasn't been getting too many runes. In fact, Furion would not be getting runes. Or he can, but he doesn't have bottle.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Vengeful Spirit sapping some EXP, just going for our fast tank up items. Bracer with Ironwood branches. Hopefully he doesn't eat too many power shots here. And he probably wants to sap EXP till 6, but he's actually sitting a little bit far back. I think he's a little worried right now. Nature's Prophet will teleport in, though. He's on treads, lots of stats. Tons of dust in this game, man. On both sides, they're definitely worried about either team's invisible heroes. And I think they're just going to continue farming for a bit. Are we going to Shackle Shot? We do see a Shackle on Venge. Here comes the pop out. Will it be enough damage? Witch Doctor will stun next, and I think that's going to be it. Witch Doctor does go down. I'm sorry, Venge does go down. And they're going to disengage here. There's the heal from Chen to keep them alive. Sand King getting a kill in the top lane as well on Broodmother with a gank from the Storm Spirit.
They had a Dust, I presume. Yes, Dust was on Sand King, so ultimate plus the grab from the Storm Spirit will be enough to bring down Broodmother, who does not have anything of like a BKB, or I don't think he even have String Treads at this point, so having trouble to survive against that combo. No, he does not have String Treads. And they were able to bring down the mid tower, top tower, in a little bit of trouble. CLG right back in this game after a pretty poor start. 1-4 was the early start. Now they're back to 6-4 with a couple of towers being destroyed. So in terms of goal difference, they're climbing right back, and you can see the graph approaching back to 0. So CLG fighting hard right here.
And are we going to see the tower get denied on the bot lane? It will get picked up now. There's the deny. Half of the gold is now going to go to Fnatic for getting that tower there. And Pycat can continue soloing the top lane. He does have his Arcane Boots, so he's going to be spending a lot of time just hanging out, kind of playing an anti-Broodmother role here. He just wants to make sure Broodmother won't be able to do damage to towers or get uncontested free farm.
Yep, I also like this choice to actually pick up a point into Caustic Finality to actually push against the Broodmother and just keep him on this lane. You can see Winner invisible, and they actually get a very easy kill on Book Top. We're seeing a lot of chain stun duration if they want to go for it. 2 Centaur comes right in, but they do not know that Book Top is actually in fact in trouble. Shackle Shot actually missing, and Book Top will die though. He's gonna actually, well, Sanking's now in trouble because he is dusted. He's trying to make it out here. And I think he might be okay. The Brewlings destroying the tree. There's a... Wow. He exploded into a fairy shower of spiderlings.
Yeah, he did have a stun up. Might have just been a little bit unprepared for that, but Nature's Prophet did come in there and help out, doing some good damage with that dust. Helps out a big deal. And Stormstreamer now pressuring the mid lane. Treads with his Null Talisman, Wand, and a Basilius. Very interesting Storm items. So we'll see what he goes for next. Could be something kind of stable like a Linken's or a Black King Bar. Most likely, man, would he even get a Black King Bar this game? Like we said, there's not a lot of disables.
Exactly.
He might just be able to go into some like damage item or a sheep stick or something and be absolutely fine this game.
Actually, the other day I saw NYM's Stormster got something into a Soul Booster and Hearthstone, and we're saying, you know, how unreliable that hero would be, but I think in a game like this where there's not many stuns, I think that would be a great item as they get a gank on the bot lane on Mirana.
It was beautiful. Did you see it?
No, I did not. I'm sorry. What happened?
Alright, so Witch Doctor threw out a stun. Stunned on the Priest of the Moon, immediately dropped his Death Ward as the stun from the cask was still going on. Load of Ball Lightnings in with Storm Spirit and gets the Revenant off. It was really good coordination. Like, he immediately dropped Death Ward. He knew what was going on. It was
how did I miss that? Why did I miss that?
I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry,
I should have pinged the map.
I'm sorry.
Apologize to the viewers. Don't apologize to me. I got to see the sweetness.
No, that's why I'm apologizing to viewers. Like, my bad, guys. It's okay.
It happens.
When there's 13 kills, you can count Luminous catching about 2. And
yeah.
The rest of you guys could leave your imagination to what happens, you know. Back on the top lane here, Broodmother is farming it up. He is very, very close to that Orchid. Just boots straight into Orchid. And once that Orchid's done, he actually can set up some ganks on heroes such as Sand King, Storm, Witch Doctor, and whatever else. And that's going to be very, very useful for in teamfight potential as well.
The Spider's doing decent damage to the top tower. They have gotten nerfed for tower damage, and we have a smoked up Sand King as well as a Windrunner. They really wanted to get a kill off on the Spider. They're waiting to see if he's going to show up, but he's actually not even vaguely close, and they're still trying to use their moment of surprise. Are they going to stop the Spiders, man? The tower just took way, like a crap load of damage from that, and he's actually going to do a Sandstorm to clear out the Spiders, and that's going to stop the tower push moderately successfully, while the rest of the Radiant team is holding up on the mid lane, trying to defend that tower push.
Yep, let's check out how we're doing in terms of item progressions, especially on the supports. Vengeful Spirit has boots and a bracer, same thing that our Enchantress have. On the other side, we have Witch Doctor with wards and boots, and Chen with the mecha finish. So it seems like Winner will be going for a pipe instead. And pipe against this lineup, is it that necessary? I don't think like they have that big burst damage either.
Which team has the pipe coming?
I assume Winner will be getting the pipe because she has a headdress and the mech is already on
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that fact. There might have been a little bit of
miscommunication, maybe?
Miscommunication, but either way, you know, as long as you don't make the buckler, you're fine. Like we said, you can turn that into a pipe. I don't know if they'll do it. Maybe she's just going to sit on the headdress so that she had the regen, but...
Right.
You know, either way, it's not a huge impact to the game there. I don't think it's really a big deal, but I just want to point out how impressive that Chen farm is. I mean, how much did he get shut down in the early game, and he still has a 15-minute mechanism? That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Well, not to take anything away from Mackie, but how hard is to farm with Chen in the jungle? He's just kind of like, oh.
Dude, it's hard to right-click, okay?
One cam is done. Let's go to the next cam. Meanwhile, Prophet might be done as well. He's going to be completely sandwiched. There's a Maledict and some blocking. Can we get the cast? Yes, we will. And there's the Death Ward. Holy, there's, yeah, you should nuke Chen. And I think he's going to, no, he's going to survive that Maledict. Level 1, unable to do too much damage. Meanwhile, mid lane here, Pino forced to pop his Invis into a survive a gank. Shackle Shot not gonna latch on Book Top, and that Tornado sending everyone back.
Man, I'm really sad that Maledict didn't crush him. Witch Doctor made another really good play there, and it just, level 1 Maledict is absolute crap. We're gonna see a stun going down. Broodmother on the top lane. Oh man, the Orchid goes off right before Pycat's ulti triggers, and now he's in a ton of trouble. He gets picked off by the Broodmother. Great play there by Brood. I thought for sure Sand King was going down. Back on the mid lane, Shackle Shot on the Mirana, and a power shot as well. Are they going to be able to get the kill? There's the swap, but it's not enough, and now Vengeful Spirit throws himself into the mix and is going to die as well. Are they going to be able to get the courier? That's the real question. No man left on Storm Spirit to pick that up.
2 kills back in the mid lane, more importantly 1 kill on the Mirana. All these guys running low in mana points, so it's likely they won't push, but the kills are so important. Now we see Storm Spirit up to about 2k gold, still no real item commitment yet. Whether it's going to be an ultimate orb, whether it's going to be a point booster, we'll have to wait and see. Or something crazy, maybe a Dagon. I don't know. Let's hope.
On Nature's Prophet at this point in the game?
No, on Storm Spirit.
Oh, on Storm Spirit. Yeah, that's actually sometimes a very good Storm Spirit build, especially if you have a big advantage over your enemy supports. You can just ball lane in and take easy kills against the 600, 800 HP guys with a couple nukes. It's really interesting. I've seen that before. And at that point, it's like, well, he's going to keep doing this until the game's over, so it's time to GG.
Meanwhile, Prophet says it's not time to GG as he picks up a Necro Book, which against Sand King, which is a great item. Mana Burn, if Storm ever stays in place, you get Mana Burn, will hurt him quite a big time as well. It's a great pushing item, gives him a little bit of stats. It's so weird to not see a 4-staff or a Dagon or a Midas on Prophet, or even a Hex Rush. So Mitch is going to be somewhat useful as a utility for about 20 minutes or so, but he's going to be dying for Hex much later on.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially against Storm Spirit. Once again, like we said, no disables, so having something like a Hex would have been really nice. Miranda getting close to a Yasha at least, so she will be nice and fast, and Power Shot will come through, do some damage to the Enchantress. Still no new items on her, just the Bracer Wand, just tanking up and getting her survivability up there so she doesn't end up dying. And she actually even maxed the Nature's Attendance first. Usually I feel like I see Enchantress maxing out on Enchant first, but she's much more concerned about dying, which I think is smart. And she's got a Drum of Endurance now, so that's pretty cool.
Yep, a Drum's really helpful for both Chen and Enchantress, considering that you can buff your creeps and they move exceptionally fast when that happens. On the top lane here, Loda is doing this again. They've been just kind of ganking to that. It's going to be an Orchid, which is going to be a great choice. How can we forget Orchid? Now they even have less stuns when they're silenced. I guess that's...
He's going to Refresher. Come on, let's be serious.
Okay, my bad.
It's going to do a double static Remnant. It's going to kill everything. It's going to be ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding, guys. There's no way he's getting Refresher. That'd be really dumb.
That would be...
He could ball lightning and refresh and ball lightning, right?
That would be retardedly dumb, but that's okay. Looks like the Radiant team is smoked up. Meanwhile, the Fnatic squad looking for a gank. Seems like in terms of what the team is picked to do, the Dire squad is picked to gank. Do you think they've been ganking decently, or is kind of... Well, they only have 6 kills to show for it, so...
Yeah, they really did have a really good early game. Nature's Prophet's actually jungling their jungle line. I'm sure Chen knows about this. He can probably hear the creeps fighting. And there's the vision. He's going to be running away now. Level 10. Is anybody going to be able to catch up? There's the Power Shot. And there's a 4-staff on Windrunner, but they're a little too far away. And Broodmother's going to get a kill once again on Sand King on the top lane. Most likely using the Orchid. Yeah, he does indeed. And a gank from Venge and Priest of the Moon. And now they're going to be able to take this tower.
Yeah, that Orchid really paying for its money right now. And just so we're saying that Fnatic not getting the gank off, well... Here's one, and they're going to transition to a Rax push. Here comes the Spiderlings. Here comes the Treants. And is there enough AoE to defend against this? I think not, because Sand King dead for 20 seconds. We might see a very ninja early Rax here from Fnatic. And here we go. Broodmother going to be right-clicking. He is stunned and Maldic up, and looks like there's a Zippin. He's a half HP. Will be regenerating up quite a bit. Going to focus on Bay a bit. Half HP. Shackle shot up. Look at everyone being stunned up. Really good defensive side, not having the Sand King right now. That Enchantress healing everything out. Here comes the Sand King. Hand of God comes in right now. Where's the Burrow Strike? We're wondering. There's a zip in. There's a TP out. The Book Top might be the Sacrificial Lamb. He definitely will be. Maybe. That Drums. He's running. He's blocking. Oh, but that Power Shot. Just a tip on her butt. Oh, wow. That sounded wrong, but they got the kill. That's what it was on the screen, so it's just...
Yeah, you're just describing what you're seeing. I understand. I don't know what you're looking at, but... Okay, so nice plays there by the Radiant team. CLG, that was really good. Barely picks off the Enchantress. Loda absolutely spending every bit of mana he could to get that kill, but he did it and eventually pick it up. It looks like Chen is completely out of creeps here. A little bit of a loss for him. No, I'm sorry, he does actually have a bunch of creeps. He's going to find a Centaur, and he's apparently really happy with the double Ursa and the Troll Warlord. I think this is actually pretty smart, because Ursas do 150 damage with their Thunderclap. I think that's the biggest damage nuke coming out of the jungle there, and that's going to clear Spiderlings and help shut down any pushes.
Sometimes we see Chen players like to stack things like the Satira as well for the range nuke, which is pretty good in terms of having 3 range nukes flying down. I think Melk loves doing things like that, but the melee creeps of the Centaur are really good. As you can see, he's clearing towers and pushing back. We also had a gank attempt back on the mid lane as Sand King pushed down tower on the top as well. Witch Doctor got the kill. He's on a dominating streak. His Maldic is maxed, which is probably why he's getting so many kills, and he has up to 1200 gold here. Is he going to pick up something like a point booster, or is he going to pick up a Medallion Courage? We'll see.
Dude, Miracle has been really, really impressing me this game. This Witch Doctor, man, he keeps doing things like Maledicts before stuns, just like little tricks that can really increase your damage potential. He's just not doing the lazy Witch Doctor where you stun and Maledict and ulti. You know, he's had so many interesting plays, and I love to see high-skilled players play support heroes really, really effectively. It's so much more fun than seeing them do the average, boring, I'm gonna ward and die a lot, you know?
Yep. I know what you mean, man. Miracle, he's a player that sometimes drop off a stun. Instead of right-clicking, he will run in front of hero, do some couple blocks for his teammates, and just small tricks like that that might not get you the kill every time, but in over the long span of things, if you keep doing it, it's gonna make your team get more kills and high skill plays. So far here we're at 23 minutes in. Top tower had a huge sigh of relief getting defended earlier, but this lane is still very pushable, especially if you pick off someone like the Sand King. So they gotta be extremely careful. But Blink Dagger is up on Pycat now, so it's gonna be a lot harder to kill him, and he could be extremely more devastating in teamfight. In terms of towers, it seems like the mid tower is still okay, but it is Dire leading by 1 tower at this point, as all their tier 2 towers are still up.
Yeah, but Radiant Team's still an advantage in terms of gold. I think they have 2k up. And almost 3k now. The graph has been going pretty heavily towards their favor. And Sand King's still going to have to worry about that Orchid. He's going to literally have to do a Blink ulti from hidden areas. Otherwise, he's not going to be very successful. And we do see a Smoke Gank coming. Venge, Priest of the Moon, and Enchantress Day will find Chen. That's a guaranteed kill. He doesn't even have a TD scroll, but either way, easy pickup. Mirana gets the last hit there. Going to possibly clean up his creeps as well, which is actually a pretty big hit. There is 2 Ursas going to go down, and the 3rd one as well. So not a fun situation for Chen, but better him dying than a lot of the other heroes. I guess Witch Doctor would be the best option, but
I think this can be just a Roshan time, as they are making, they are gaining right in position. Do they have a Medallion Courage? That's the question. I don't see it on anyone. They do have the Terror from the Vengeful Spirit, so that's some decent minus armor. Here comes a Walkin for a little bit of extra armor on those Treen as well, so that's very, very nice. They will be able to bring down this Roshan, unless Sand King and Stormspirit decides to come, but I think they're a little bit too far off. So with the Aegis on either the Mirana or the Prophet, it's going to be a pretty big deal as now these normally very squishy hero will be able to be a little bit more aggressive in the next fight.
Yeah, and they do pick that up, but once again, they don't have very much carry potential. It's pretty much just a Broodmother sitting on his Orchid. Mirana just really has Treads Yasha. That's not a huge damage amount. Mirana usually gets really disgusting after the Manta when she gets the next damage item after that, and before that she's really relying on a lot of her skills to be useful. So, or we will see some carry potential coming out of the Enchantress because Impetus is really good, but as a whole, the Dire team is not hitting too hardly unless the Broodmother shows up.
Witch Doctor, by the way, really rich support, fancying a Ghost Scepter. Here comes a huge Epicenter, Burrow Strike right in, but the healing of the Enchantants gonna be right back, bringing them back up, and Bea gonna be in trouble as Maledict up, and therefore he's gonna die to Maledict maybe, but the healing, it is just keeping him alive. Here comes Stormspirit, 1 kill, immediately gonna go for Gordon. Gordon pulled up, double Burrow Strike as we see Mitch gonna get brought down as well. Huge comeback from CLG. They are somehow, initiating these early fights, and they just chase the hell out of them with Stormspirit. Mirana forced to get out. He already used his Aegis as well, so despite having that advantage, not really able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that was a really, really good play there by CLG. I loved their initiation, just getting those couple stuns off and then following up with the chase. Even though, they were all grouped up, it was just really, really nice. And Sand King started that off with a nice ulti, so worked out quite good for them.
Yep, and now we're seeing the lack of stun to be more and more of an issue, as these guys are able to chase freely once the Vengeful Spirit is dead. And I mean, even if she's not dead, she's got 1 stun. How he's going to prevent Sand King, Blink Dagger, Storm Spirit, and of course Windrunner with Shackle Shots and whatnot. And these stuns coming from the from Radiant side, the Shackle Shot, we saw 3.75 seconds stun early on, the Burrow Strike on everyone earlier. It's just killing Fnatic right now. And they do have the push going for them, but how long will it last? That's the question.
Ooh, Sand King getting jumped on by the Broodmother, but Loda is around too, going to jump on the Sand King. There's still some silence on Pycat, but he's going to escape here, and Stormspirit also backing out. Really nice play there by Loda. He knew that Sand King got Orchided. Is that a word?
Yes.
And was in a lot of trouble, so Ball Lightning's in, does a little bit of disable, and then immediately Ball Lightning's out, because he actually has a good escape maneuver there.
Right.
But in these upcoming teamfights, I almost completely expect this Orchid to go on Stormspirit instead, possibly, especially if he gets out of position, so he has to be really, really careful.
Yep. Stormspirit does have an Orchid of himself, and we've been talking about how Orchid is, in some cases, sometimes even better than a Hex, especially on certain heroes such as Stormspirit. Well, if he's silenced for 5 seconds, he might as well be hexed, right? So I really can't do too much. But right now we see CLG really defending this mid tower with all their lives depend on it. No one, because usually the first, especially the mid tower, is kind of like a throwaway tower. A lot of times we see teams don't even try to defend it, but CLG says no, man. We're gonna keep this one alive.
It does make a difference, man. It's still gold, so
especially for Roshan engagements.
Yeah, that's true. It will make a difference, and it's gonna give them a little bit better vision on the map as well. They can't just roam across the mid lane, no problem, using their smokes. They're, if they come from bot lane and they decide they want to gank top, they have to run all the way around. And just having something like that really does make a big difference. But Fnatic looking like they wanted to push the top lane, but they're gonna back up here. Looks like Loda was in position. He's got his Ogre Club now. He will be getting a Black King bar almost for sure. And I think this is a very smart transition. And I do, once again, like the fact that he was able to get the Orchid first.
Yep. Looks like the Dire team will be pushing, but seems like Radiant's extremely farm. I think they're going to try to be backstabbing on the right side. And it looks like Epicenter is going to be coming right in. He misses the Burrow Strike. That's actually big. He actually, now Sandstorm, but he's completely stunned up. Hand of God, will he get sent home? No, he's going to be destroyed before anything happens. Here comes the Broodmother, and I do believe that the CLG team extended himself. Here comes the Stormster. We'll get 1 kill, but he's HP level dropping, and look at the stuns coming right in. Can he zip out and make it live? No, he cannot, as Mirana finds him. It is 2-4, and here comes the push. Broodmother's still alive. Broodling's being gathered up, and I do believe the top racks should be going down very, very soon. I do not see CLG defending this unless they all buy back.
Yeah, that was a really bad team fight for them. Pycat decided to go in. It was a little unorganized. He wanted to initiate. He Epicenter blinked, but he had like 3 or 4 pulses before it did any damage at all. And then he did a stun, and he completely missed everyone. So he did virtually no damage, got completely out of position with the gem, by the way, and then got dusted and killed. And from there on, that's most of their AoE damage. They really do need that Sand King ultimate in those team fights, or at least the stun to be coming.
Yep, and of course, the slower moving heroes such as the Chen and the Witch Doctor was not able to keep up with the blazing fast initiation. They were not really there when the spells were flying off, so no cast, no Maledict, no Test of Fate, things like that. And the result is they're going to lose a top Rax. I wonder if it's going to die. Someone focus that Siege Engine, please! And that Miwa gun. Going to destroy the top range Rax. Nice. And Fnatic, despite not having the greatest start, they are down by 5 kills, but they're up a Rax.
Yeah, and that's what happens in the mid to late game. If you make a big team fight error like that where Pycat initiated and didn't really get a good Epicenter stun off, then that kind of stuff happens. So big team play there for Fnatic. It is important to notice that Broodmother did have a Black King bar in that team fight, so he just popped that and auto-attacked those squishy heroes until they died. I didn't really see what happened to Storm Spirit, but once the Sand King gets killed for absolutely nothing, it makes the game a lot easier. You don't have to worry about as many disables, and stuff like Witch Doctor Cask or Witch Doctor Maledict, it doesn't work at all against Broodmother. So at that point, Witch Doctor becomes a lot less usable. Right.
I was just about to comment before that team fight starts, like, oh man, like the Radiant supports are really tanky. Chen going for Acceptor part, so he's tanky in that regard. Witch Doctor has +7 stats from the Ghost Scepter, and has the Ghost ability. So I was like, oh, they're gonna be fine, and then that happens. So I'm glad I didn't say that.
Yeah, too bad I said it now.
Too bad I said it now, but actually the Dire side, the supports aren't too bad. Treads up on the Vengeful Spirit Enchantress has treads and drums. So they're tanky in that nature, as we see that Gordon, Broodmother, and the Mitch Prophet, they're very fast, considering that, of course, the Necrobook provides a move speed aura. Same thing with the drums, you can pop it and they move very quickly. Manta Style plus Leap. A lot of players forget Leap also provides MS bonus, as well as attack speed bonus.
Does it do attack speed? Yeah, I did not know that. That's cool. Yeah, so they still have a possibility of winning. The game's still very close. 2k gold difference now for the Dire. At least an advantage in their favor. I mean, the Rax is gone, which is obviously a pretty big deal, but the game's not over by any means at all. We're going to see a couple more items come out. Once Loda gets his Black King bar, things are going to be looking much better for him, I expect. Maybe that's why. Did he die to a Orchid in that team fight? Is the real question. Because I know Sand King died pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether the Orchid was on him, but I definitely saw him get... Miranda did what she can with her one stun, which is, stun her right in the face. Did some big damage. Here comes the arrow. Is it going to hit? Oh, Burrow Strike comes right in just for his defense against Grazine. It looks like they're going to give up this mid tower. I think.
Oh, maybe we'll see. It looks like they want to fight it. They're all really spread out. I do not like CLG's positioning right now. Windrunner will be able to maybe get a good shackle shot off, but the tower's taking the damage. And now Chen coming forward with his creeps. Shackle will land on the Mirana. Is she going to go down? The Sheep happens as well. And a big Maledict on 2 heroes. Stun from Sand King. Broodmother does pop the Black King bar, looking for initiation, and nobody's actually in there. Really cool play by CLG there. They initiated and all immediately backed up. Broodmother popped the BKB, popped his ulti, and now it's time to fight. The Shackler goes down. Are they going to chase? They don't have any dust or anything. They're just defending, I think.
Both
teams, that was a really cool play.
Both teams using quite a bit of ultimates right there. We saw Moonlight Shadow being dropped. We saw Swap greatly saving that Mirana. Should have been dead for sure if that wasn't for the swap. And like you said, Grizzly pop everything he had. So because of that, all their stuff on cooldown, they got to just back off right now. And that is a successful defense from CLG. But I don't think Fnatic's... What's that?
I thought that was a really good play. They didn't really lose that much. They used Chen ulti, but I think that was it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
They're fine. They didn't even dump a epicenter or anything like that, so they're fine. So they're gonna just keep on waiting. But I think they are still in a very disadvantaged position because when you're down in racks against Prophet Ultimate, it is just so hard to push out. And considering that Dire does, well, they're on the Dire side, that means Roshan advantage. Whenever he responds back, they will have the creep equilibrium pushed, and they're gonna have a lot easier time taking Roche later on.
Looks like Nature's Prophet's still sitting on a double Ironwood branch. I don't think I've ever seen them carry this lane in the game before. At least not two of them. Kind of surprising. Power Shot's going to come through doing some damage to the mid lane. And Vengeful Spirit's at half HP, so she's going to have to be careful. Mirana has a Mantis Cell with a Gem of True Sight, and it looks like he wants to go in. Wow. Ball Lightning's in using the Chen Holy Persuasion just to be aggressive there.
Right, that's just wasting some mana, no problem.
I don't know what he was hoping for, just to be annoying or something.
Well, he definitely bait out a Swap and a Mantis Cell, and those are not really short cooldown spells, so they're going to be walking into the next team fight without that. So that's actually pretty big bait. Pretty nice bait.
And here comes a stun from Witch Doctor. Might be a little out of position. Once again, he's going to do it again. He does initiate, taking some nukes, and there's the ulti from Broodmother. They're doing the same thing, man. Really cool plays coming out of CLG. I haven't seen anybody do this kind of stuff in so long. The arrow, barely going to miss Windrunner. That could have been her death. The tower will fall. But they will be responding. Lotus coming back with full mana once again. He's just really scared to initiate without the Blacking Bar, and I think that's very smart and wise.
Yep. He's about 1,000 gold, 1,100 gold away from that, and is Roshan back? That's the question. Someone hopefully has marked it down. They're scouting it out. It's not back just yet. And with the Aegis ending up on the Mirana or Mitch once again, that could be extremely, extremely deadly.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially if Broodmother gets that, man. Does he have his butterfly finished? I know he has an eagle horn, or eagle song, sorry. He's very close. Less than 500 gold. Looks like, yeah, Storm Spirit and a ball right in. Drops the Static Remnant, gets sent back to base once again. So they will have Roshan vision for a couple more seconds with that Remnant. And Fnatic knows what they want to get next. Will they be able to grab it, though? There's an Invis on Vengeful Spear. There's a Wave of Terror. Both teams are aware that Roshan is up. They're just afraid of each other doing the Roshan without them seeing it coming.
Yep. But the long advantage, that made no sense. The advantage is on Fnatic's side, which having the Wrath of Nature pushing every single lane, they have the big creeps on top, and that's constantly breathing down on Fnatic's team. Both teams, and in fact, instead of going for the Roshan, they're going to be engaging in the mid lane instead. I think Roshan is a very risky business, as we see Stormster zips right in. Is he going to get sent back? He is silenced right now. And here comes Epicenter. That is the initiation. They're looking for Book-Top dies. Everyone on the Fnatic team dies. I'm seeing Lola zipping right in. In fact, he might actually go down to the Enchantress. Enchantress doing some big damage. Gets a pick off against the Storm. That's great. And now Mitch in a little bit of trouble. He's going to die as well. Enchantress. It's the only sole survivor. I see Mitch immediately buy back Shackle Shot. Not going to latch. He's going to TP right in for the help. Nope. Enchantress is okay. So a 4-for-2 trade. Pretty decent for CLG, despite the fact that they are down 1 racks.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Nicely played there by CLG. That ulti from Sand King made such a big difference. Dropping that epicenter down on all those support heroes, that is where you want to aim it, man. All those heroes that do not have Blacking Bars or Magic Immunity, even like Mirana, Nature's Prophet, pretty much everybody that's now Broodmother on the Dire team is going to be susceptible to that ultimate.
How did Broodmother die? That's the question.
She was the only one that died to it?
No, how did she die? She had BKB, right?
I don't know. Her Blacking Bar is not on cooldown. Maybe she got initiated on and died immediately. Was that
maybe
Storm
it.
Spirit went on?
It should be, yeah, it should be on cooldown. I guess she just didn't use it, so.
You know, maybe what Loda did was a little bit of mind games there. I mean, how many times did he ball lightning in and force Broodmother to pop her cooldowns for no avail?
That's true.
You know, he might have been like, oh, I'm going to do this 3 times while getting sent back just to scare the shit out of the Broodmother. And then we're going to finally initiate. She's going to be more hesitant to pop the Blacking Bar and the ultimate. So.
And that was the death of her. Epicenter came in with a chain stun on him. Because definitely Radiant has quite a bit of stuns. Here comes the Aegis. Who's going to pick this one up?
They don't know. Storm Spirit. Follow Lady across the map. Come on, man. You can do it. Maybe they're trying to bait it out. I don't know.
They're gonna give it to the Brew. The Brew will have go for that butterfly if he wants to pick it up right now. I think they're waiting for the crow. And here comes the mid push. The Brewmother with the Aegis could, you know, play a lot more aggressive, tank up a couple of shots, and actually will be okay if he doesn't pop the BKB before the fight happens. So.
And it looks like he's not going to spend the money quite yet. We have another Blade of Alacrity coming. That's going to be an Aghanim Scepter for Enchantress. If she was hitting hard before, dude. Man, and now she can attack even farther. It's actually a very, very good Aghanim. She can now attack range is 715. Does Sniper even shoot that far?
Sniper's 810.
810, yeah. So close, almost the farthest in the game. But it's going to be very useful. It just hits really, really hard. That's the advantage for going for Enchantress over a Chen, is that your late game damage is way higher than Chen's is.
Right. And, you know, her heal, definitely not as useful in the late game situation, but for some, you know, remedial healing, I guess, if you're just low in HP, just hold hand with that Enchantress and she will bring it back to full. And, yeah, she's doing a lot of DPS, level 16 at this point, so, of course, all her Impedus damage or pure damage goes through magical immunity, or magical resistance, sorry, and goes through armor, which is kind of the big thing at this point in the game, so very, very great.
Yeah, Loda's very close to his Black King bar now. He still needs 150 gold, but he will pick that up. He hasn't really been farming that much. I would have thought that he would have more items in this, but there's been a lot of team fight going. It looks like Witch Doctor is going to find the entire enemy team. He does pop the Ghost Scepter. He goes immune. He's still alive. I can't believe it. The heal from Chen comes through. What a big save, dude. That Ghost Scepter doing the work.
Telling you. Great buy here from a Witch Doctor friend, but they lost the racks, I think, 10 minutes ago, right? And it doesn't seem like they even lost the racks. They're just playing this game a little bit more defensively, but, you know, they're still taking these fights and whatever else.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet's been saving his ulti. That's part of the reason. I mean, the lane's still pushing without it, so I wouldn't necessarily say that's a... I wouldn't say that's a mistake coming out of him. He still doesn't have a sheep stick, so he's really not contributing much past the Necronomicon 3, and just hasn't... They just need a perfect initiation. I think that's what it's going to come down to. If either team gets a perfect initiation, it's going to be completely different for either one, or whoever does get the initiation. Start things off right, gets the silence off on the Storm Spirit, but he does have the BKB now, so even if he does eat a stun, that's going to be a loss for him, because he can just remove that magic immunity, or remove the silence, sorry, with his Black King bar.
Mitch drops down an ultimate to get himself enough gold for that Hex stick, but unfortunately it did hit in this top area of the map, and that Loda immediately pings, hey, there's a war here, they see us. So that was a little bit of an unfortunate side effect. But hey, Hexa is done. The Necro Book, in a sense, it doesn't seem like it's doing much because the amount of burns damage is not too big. But if Epicenter ever kills that blue minion, oh man, that's 600 pure damage. So Sanking, he can't really control what he doesn't hit because it's all in a big AoE. So he's got to be very careful when he's zipping.
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't auto attack creeps either, because all of a sudden you're doing an extra 200 AoE damage. That's a crap load of damage.
Right.
Just by hitting a few creeps or hitting a few spiders as the team fight goes on, that can make a big difference. So Dire Team going to once again continue pushing and farming up a little bit. The Butterfly is finished on Broodmother. He's probably going to save for buyback gold at this point, because he is extremely survivable. His HP could maybe be a little bit higher, but dude, he's got 1900. He's got evasion. He's got a Black King bar. He is looking really good. Plus an Aegis. He is definitely going to be the problem for CLG's team here.
Yeah, I think this is time to push double damager up on Gordon. They are smoked up. Black King bar is up on Mirana. You can pop the BKB and retain your DD. That is in balance. We have a Black King bar, Butterfly, and Orchid up on Grizin as well. Hex is finished on Fury. And this should be the GG push. And that's Fnatic's mind goal. They're going to allow him to get initiated, but that's fine because he has the Aegis. He's going to pop his Aegis right now as Mirana taps the BKB and everyone just dies. Aki's going to die in a couple of hits. Very easy. And where's that Epicenter coming in? It was not there.
It looked like he just did a blink stun. He stunned and then he ran away. His ulti was not ready to go. They're going to take a bunch of damage here. He still has not used his ultimate. Maybe he just thought it was just the Broodmother by himself and he instinctively just did a blink stun and did not channel first. Who knows? But the mid tower is going to drop here for Fnatic, or at least CLG's tower will drop. Another nuke on the Broodmother. He's going to do a little initiation. There's the ulti coming from the Sand King. He did have a Black King bar doing good damage. They might just auto-attack the Brood down. They do pick him off. Sand King will stun to go back in and is going to pop invisibility. And there's a little bit of a lot of heroes taking damage. Who's in the middle of this? I can't even click on him. The stunned hero is going to be a Windrunner. He is so farmed. He's even got a Demon Edge here, but he's going to get picked off by the Enchantress. And Sand King gets a kill as well.
Sand King will be stalking these two heroes that are trying to run away. He will have quite a bit of mana to do whatever else. In fact, he's actually a little bit worried about his own survivability. He's not going to give a chase. He does see the Enchantress, Barrel Strike, but they don't have enough follow-up. Storm Strike comes right in. He does have a healthy bit of mana. But no, he's going to turn back now, seeing 3 heroes scatter up together. I like exactly what the Fnatic team did. After the Broodmother died, no one ran. They all just stood their ground. In fact, they didn't do anything except right-click that melee Rax. They're like, you could kill us, don't care, but we're going to get your Rax. And now with 2 Raxes up, they're in a very good position. Again, we got to keep in mind that there's a Nature Prophet. Good luck getting out of your base with Wrath of Nature flying down. He should be spamming Zol whenever it comes off cooldown at this point.
Yeah, I would agree. If you can push 2 lanes constantly, it makes it so hard to get out of your base. Chen does have his Egg and him Scepter, which is pretty cool for them. And I know we have a Black King Bar and the Sand King as well as the Storm Spirit, and it looks like Windrunner's gonna be the man to carry, man. He's got that Demon Edge. He is dead right now, but he does have a Demon Edge.
And a Hex.
Gonna be going for the Hex, the important part. He still has that Headdress, by the way. Must have been a miscommunication, I guess. Or but I think he's gonna go for a Monkey King Bar most likely. That way he can attack Broodmother through the Mischance, and that's gonna give him a very good advantage. I think he could maybe, dare I say it, solo the Broodmother.
I think she can if she has the MKB finish and focus fire, and of course turning on Windrun against the right-click damage. I'm really surprised that Fnatic actually does not have a pipe against this lineup. Of course, they don't have the greatest pipe buyer. Enchantress was spending quite a bit of gold on an Acceptor. But pipe would completely nullify Sand King's ultimate, which is kind of the biggest crutch at this moment. But with all these Black King bar up, I think they're going to be fine against Sand King as well. So right now we're looking at CLG. They don't have the biggest DPS output from Sand King, nor the Storm Spirit, and at this point, not from the Windrunner as well. And I'm just wondering, how are they going to take these fights? And in fact, they're being very aggressive, as they want to try to take a fight outside of their base, trying to look for a pick-off or something.
Yeah, and CLG will be pushing up a little bit. We're going to see a mech pop from the Chen to keep all the creeps healed up. He only has 1 Centaur, but it will provide that attack speed aura, which is something nice to have. If these heroes die, do we have buyback gold? Looks like Storm Spirit does have buyback possibilities. Windrunner does not have the money, and the rest of the heroes looking pretty cheap as well, but they're going to get an easy free tower there. Just a nice little 1,000 gold boost to their team. And Plate Mail and Sand King, he does have another gem up, possibly going to go for a AC or a Shiva's, not really quite sure which. Probably gonna guess it's Shiva's, but they might be. Look at this mid-rax. The TPs from Fnatic are coming late. The arrow's not gonna hit anybody there, and they do steal the Centaur, but trading it back again, it may just end up dying. Yeah, it will.
Yep. Meanwhile, Prophet taking his sweet time. He does have a teleport scroll, so he can TP all around the map and force you to back off, and that's exactly what he's going for. Roshan is back soon. And I think that's why CLG was playing so aggressive, pushing down the mid tower to get themselves a little bit of map control. They cannot give away this third Roshan if they want to win this game. If you give away the Aegis and Cheese, game's over. Like, I could sit here and make it sound really close. Well, they could do this and they could do that. If you give away the Roshan, Aegis and Cheese, it's just going to be impossibly hard.
You're saying if Fnatic gets it?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I wasn't sure. But yeah, I would agree there. I think they have enough of an advantage here. Their carry potential is high enough, and it's just going to get higher at this point. As soon as Mariana gets a crit item, she's going for that Daedalus. They're going to pass a regen rune, but they don't really care about it. Not really the most useful rune at this point in the game at times. And they just want to take the bottom racks. If the bottom racks goes, game's over. I don't care if they have a ranged barracks up in the mid lane. Like you said, Nature's Prophet's just going to keep ulting, and they will do smoke ganks just similar to what they're doing right now, and then the game's going to be ended. So CLG being really careful. They know nobody's on the map except for the Broodmother in the mid lane, who now has a plate mail. He's going to be even more survivable here, especially if he gets something like an AC, and they might dive on this. We'll see.
Yep, no more Aegis on the Brood. It was really nice how the team fight initiated earlier, where the Broodmother was the focus, and she had, Aegis, so no problem there. So let's see if they're gonna jump on the Brood again. I think jumping on the Brood is something they're forced to do. They don't want to do that, but
I think they expected the bait. They did see an arrow coming from the side jungle, and surprisingly, they didn't really react a whole lot. So Fnatic will now back up and once again getting some last hits here. 2,700 gold on Nature's Prophet. We'll see if he finishes something else. He may just sit on his gold for buyback, which I expect, especially because he has that global TP. If he does die, he can immediately come back into the team fight. It's not really that much different than him having an Aegis. So.
Great. Treads, Bracer, and Point Boost up on their Vengeful Spirit, just tanking it up. Same thing with Enchantress, Acceptor, Treads, and Drums. And here comes a push from CLG again, despite the fact that they're down Raxes. They're taking the fight to the dire side, which I believe is a pretty smart move. Even if you lose a fight, you get yourself quite a bit of time as they're trying to push back in multiple lanes and whatever else. Sand King forced the TP back to defend the top lane, and CLG not giving up despite down so many Raxes, despite not having the best leaking potential. They're going to keep on fighting.
Yep, and Pycat will be clearing up the creep wave. Caustic Finale is making a big difference at this point. Even though the creeps do have a crap load of HP, sitting at 800 for the melee creeps. Just doing a couple caustic finales will eventually pick them off slowly but surely. Something like a Battle Fury is usually the best way to clear mega creeps in late game situations, but nobody in the game actually has one, so I think caustic finale and that Sand King are going to make a big impact towards any immediate pushes that they need to do.
I like exactly what Fnatic's doing here. They're being patient. They're saying, okay, we're going to just only go for the Roche if we see Sand King defending top, or we see someone like really far away. If we don't see them, we're going to back off right now, because we know the CLG team won't be taking the Roche on. They really cannot risk this so much. And here comes the team fight breaking out. They're going to focus on the Ventral Sphere. Shackle shot on the Necro Book behind Broodmother, trying to do the right-click Force Staff out on the Windrunner. And looks like Stormster is going to get a kill on the Ventral Sphere. Windrunner's going to die. They lose a lot of damage. Mali drops on the bottom, but the Storm is dead. Epicenter comes in. Not enough DPS out with double damage. Goes from Mirana, and he's actually going to die to the Witch Doctor ultimate. Maybe. Did a huge amount of damage, and it's going to be a 2 for 3 right now. Stormster buys back, and I do believe that Sand King is dead. Oh, yeah.
It was a good play by him. Man, they lost their Windrunner for virtually nothing in that team fight, and there wasn't much they could do about it.
Right.
The Orchid did go down on the Windrunner. She was silenced, couldn't use Windrun, couldn't use her other survivability. She did force staff away, but she force staffed right into the Nature's Prophet and the Enchantress, and at that point they just auto-attacked her down. Or she ate an arrow actually, took a stun, and then she dropped. I don't even believe she got to use the sheep stick, so just kind of unfortunate for CLG that they happened to initiate smoke versus smoke up the hill. Loda had a great reaction time. As soon as he was visible, he popped the BKB there, which is really cool. Is he going to steal it? Nope, he tries to. He comes on in, and that's going to be it for Loda.
That's game. Yeah. That was a buyback as well. I think it won't surprise me at all if GG's right now call. Prophet's going to TP the bot lane, summon some treants, and they're going to make short work of that. But still, they're told on the range racks in the mid lane. Very low HP as well. Sand King showing whatever he's worth, trying to defend, 3 lanes at once.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game, that's for sure. Highcat's still pushing, or defending at least. Chen going to be defending as well with the Zaghanums, and Windrunner almost arguably needed a Black King bar instead of that Demon Edge, man. That Oblivion staff just made such a big difference. I don't even think she used her Ginsu. I believe when she was dead, I checked her Ginsu, and it was not on cooldown, so I know you can use that through an Oblivion staff, but maybe she wanted to save it for Broodmother and ended up dying through the silence anyways, so...
Yeah, I actually thought she was going to be fine considering the Force Staffs, but the wrong angle of that Force Staff, as they're going to initiate on Windrunner once again, but look at the Witch Doctor Defo. This guy's not playing around. Shackle Shot not going to hit. Burrow Strike going to miss as well, and a lot of punches being traded. No one really dying yet. Miracle might be the first one. He is hexed up. He is going to go down. Hand of God a little bit too late here. Aki's going to be the second one. Arrow latches as well, and that's going to be the bot racks.
Yep, that will end out the game. They're going to pick up this racks here. There's still a 2 versus 5 situation. Windrunner's going to die. Highcat's going to come in with a big epicenter. Oh my god, the gold. There was gold everywhere there. He does pick off the Vengeful Spirit, but it doesn't matter. Good game, well played, being called by CLG.
And that's game number 1. We'll be coming, guys, with game number 2 momentarily. But Fnatic beating out one of the highest, or the D-top ranked team in the Premier League, just showed up that there are no pushovers.
They played that really well.
Yeah. I think CLG had a very good chance, but that top racks push down so early was what cost the game.
Yeah, that did make a big impact for sure. That was such a fast push too. They just took like that tier 2 top tower and then immediately pushed that racks.
Right.
And was successful. So that was good play by them.
Your final score is 26-26. We are going to go to game number 2 between Fnatic and CLG. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast so far. We'll be coming back you guys shortly. Of course, I am Luminous, and alongside with me is Purge Gamer from Gosu.net. GosuGamer.net. Oh my goodness.
That's okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be back.